well before the top of the hour. I want to give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the drive-thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us is Millz Young with us, Alex Smart, Jay Briggs, Shane Mickle, and Wayne Scott. And here's how they'll line up for this evening. We've got this evening on the show, we've got Smart, Mickle, Young, Briggs, Scott, then I will close this one out. All right. NFL returns here on Thursday night. We also have college football game today, as well as baseball, about a half dozen, I believe, here in the primetime hour. So let's get this one underway. Let's welcome in Alex Smart. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Short card today, so we'll go off the rails to get you some Saturday college football from Alex. Bring him in right now. Alex, what's happening?
Good. How's everything, Tony? I'm going to go tonight with, not tonight. Well, I'm going tonight. It's almost tonight, wherever you are in this world. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm going with college football on Saturday, and I'm looking at Kansas covering BYU, and I'm going to tell you why. Look, BYU is not an emotional letdown spot. Last time out, a big win over Arkansas. But, you have to remember, Arkansas outgained them 424, 281. I'm telling you, Arkansas did not look focused at times, and maybe they were looking ahead to this LSU game they have this week. But whatever the situation was, BYU took advantage of it. That's a hardworking team. We know that. Anyway, the program has a great reputation, and but I'm looking for immediate regression here. You have to remember, Lance Leopold has really got this team improved here in Kansas. I mean, the Jayhawks are rocking and rolling. They're 3-0 to start the year. And, it should come – I know it comes to as sort of a surprise for a lot of college football fans, but the Jayhawks are the nation's top-ranked team in the country, country, over and over again, I'll say the same thing, in overall returning production. And currently they're outgaining their opponents this season by an average of 231 net yards per game. I mean, they're just running over teams. Now, this all sort of like fits in here together. So it seems like Leopold and the teams that he's coaching, or this KU team, seems to come alive during his career after big wins. They're 15-3-1 ATS when coming off a victory. They've only failed to cover one of the last 16 games when coming off an away win. And they're 2-0 ATS when coming off consecutive victories, which they are. So, from an ATS angle, we've got a lot of lines here that sort of support a double-digit victory by KU coach Lance Leopold and his young, very, very underrated football team.
All right, Alex, here on Kansas. You can see here, big favorite, 9.5 at home against BYU. Yeah, BYU a little on the light on the schedule there. Before facing Arkansas, had Sam Houston State first year in FBS. Really, I watched that game. They had struggle getting points on the board. Just 14 points on that FCS school from a year ago. Then they get Southern Utah, blow them out. And there are a couple of things they're looking at them is they can't run the football. Against Sam Houston, less than 4 yards a carry. Against Southern Utah, 2 yards a carry. Just a little more than 2 yards a carry last week here against Arkansas. And they gave a ton of passing yards. Southern Utah, 262, 247 here against Arkansas. They got, as you said, a lot of yardage here. There's a lot of question marks on this BYU team.
Yeah,
and it's back-to-back road games.
And back-to-back road games for a team like that. It's not easy for college football players to travel like that 2 weeks in a row on the road.
And I'll say this for this program against Power 5 schools, which they've never, I don't know how many times they played back-to-back road games against Power 5 schools because they've always been in that Mountain West Conference and Independence, so they can kind of cherry-pick their schedule.
Right, that's right. This is, I don't know. The way Kansas is playing, I just look at this as the lines makers have it right. The smart money has it right. Everything's sort of moving in that direction. And don't go against that line. And that's what I'm recommending. So, anything over 10, I'm not crazy about, but anything under 10, it looks really good.
Yeah, I've handicapped all the games up till about 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and that was one of them I definitely circled. What's this one for that purpose there? Yep, no doubt about that one. All right, Kansas minus 9.5 here against BYU. They have a start time here at 3:30 Eastern time. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, Alex showing great results here in college football. We got college football on the board, NFL on the board, some baseball heading into a huge weekend. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got a big card this week. I've got 6 or 7 selections in the NFL. I've got another 5 or 6 selections coming up for college football. I've got both football games from the night, college and NFL. I've got my Big Ten game of the week going tomorrow, and of course, I'm going to be isolating some Major League Baseball all weekend long. And let's roll as we move into the postseason of baseball and the nitty gritty part of the football season.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Alex Smart over at Pick.com. Good results in college football, so get on board. The one-day passes are up there, or, of course, the long-term pass, that one-month pass will get you all Alex's pay in place for 30 days. That's all the baseball. Playoff baseball gets you through the league championship series, into the start of the World Series, all the college football, all the NFL. And with that one-month pass, remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion, or even more. Even greater value there. All right, Alex, as always, great having the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again here on the show here on next week. But how are you looking forward to this NFL card this weekend?
I feel strong about the NFL card. I'm going to knock on wood here, being as superstitious as I am. But I like it. But I do. There's a lot of interesting lines on board with college football this weekend. Everybody better really pay attention. This is one of those weekends where I smell some upsets, and I smell some double-digit victories that nobody's expecting.
There you go, guys. Alex, with a lot of years in this industry, loves the NFL, so we want to get on board and get signed up. All right, Alex, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Okay. Take care, Tony. Bye-bye.
You as well. Alex Smart here on the drive. So let's continue on here on the show. Up next, let's bring in Shane Mickle. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring him in right now, ready to roll here with Shane. I think we're set. We'll get him here in just a second. We've got baseball coverage, and we'll get him ready to go here. Shane, what's happening?
How's it going tonight, Tony?
Things going great. Looking forward to the weekend. I love my September baseball. I like it because it's an interesting twist to the handicap when you're dealing with teams out of contention, in contention, September call-ups. You've got veteran pitchers on expiring contracts. There's a lot of dynamics here this month of the season. Yankees and Blue Jays going head-to-head. Yankees minus 134, a total of 7.
Yeah, and on that point, even more just from a fan perspective, there's some really good races. Like the American League West, everyone's within a half a game of each other, so it's gonna be a lot of fun this last couple of weeks. So even though that everyone seems to have moved their focus to football, don't forget there's still baseball to make you money. And I think one of those places is here with the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Garrett Cole on the mound, and a lot of times when you see Garrett Cole at minus 120, minus 130, you want to jump all over it. But I think this is a place you take Jose Barrios. The Yankees, the offense has been awful. I don't think they're going to give over the last 3 games, they've only scored, I think it's 4 or 5 runs total, including 1 run each in 2 of those games. And they're facing Jose Barrios, pitcher who's pitched very well, especially as of late. He had that little lull in the middle of the season where he really struggled, but he seems to have found his form again. He's going to be a really good pitcher once the playoffs roll around. And I think that he finds a lot of success here. Like I said, I don't think Garrett Cole is going to get that run support. So unless Garrett Cole goes 9 innings here and gives up, maybe 1 or 2 runs, I don't see a way for the Yankees to win this game. I think that the Blue Jays are playing for a lot more this Yankee. Like I said, the Yankees bats are ice cold. I think they struggle here, and I'm going to take the Blue Jays getting the plus money.
All right, we got Shane here on the Blue Jays here, the plus money, plus 122 here against the Yankees. Yeah, hard, in my opinion, hard to argue that when the Yankees have had their struggles hitting the baseball, even in night games, just 222. But again, in this spot, the Blue Jays, a dog of even money to plus 150. They're 21-12 straight up. That's 12 units in your pocket.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a good trend there you want to follow. And yeah, with Jose Barrios, it's just hard. It's hard for me. I know Garrett Cole has been good coming in this game, but with the way that Jose Barrios is pitched, and with the Yankees bats being ice cold, I don't think the big concern with Barrios is he's going to give up that early home run, and at some points, especially when he was with the Twins, he seemed to turn into a mental head case where he just couldn't seem to get that out of his system. I don't think the Yankees do that to him here. I think he's going to get through the first couple innings with success, and then usually when he does that, there's really no way to get to him then. It's a little too late, and I think that's what happens here.
All right, Shane here on the Blue Jays plus minus 120, the plus price here against the New York Yankees. I know you're up there, up in the Twin Cities area. Of course, Minnesota Golden Gophers are going to be laying a big number in Northwestern here this weekend. I know you have probably your eyes set on this one, whether or not Supreme or not. I know you have some sort of opinion, but we spoke of trends. Again, the trend here is Minnesota just can't get a quarterback that can throw the ball accurately.
Like all the talk coming into this season with what Ethan and how well he was going to do. He struggled early in the season, but this Northwestern team I think might be the team to get his confidence back up. I think they're going to let him throw the ball all over. But I think the most impressive part of the Gophers team this season is Sean Tyler, the rookie, or not, I guess not a rookie, a true freshman running back who's clearly going to who has taken over the role of Mo Ibrahim. He's not as strong, but he's a much more shifty running back, and it looks like he's going to be the real deal here for the Gophers, unless we have a Bucky Irving situation like a couple years ago where Bucky Irving had that huge year for the Gophers and he bolted for Oregon. So we got to hope with the transfer portal. But yeah, I really like the Gophers laying the points there. I think that a Northwestern team is a get right spot.
All right, look at that Northwestern game there. And, of course, your Twins breaking some of the hearts here with that big rally yesterday here against the Reds, looking to clinch here. How do you look at the Twins' playoff chances moving forward?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're getting hurt at the wrong time. We got Royce Lewis. Kind of seems day to day, but I don't know. With his injury history, you have to be concerned. But we have the pitching. It's just, are they going to show up? We have Sonny Gray, who is a Cy Young contender right now. We have Pablo Lopez. We have the pitching lined up. It's going to depend on that. But I think if nothing else, I think we get our first win in 18 years in the playoffs.
Yeah, and don't forget that Kenta Maeda. I know the Dodgers use him effectively as that middle reliever, and they threw him a lot in the postseason. He doesn't have an ego. I remember Ryu. They wanted Ryu to be the middle reliever. He said, "No, I'm a starter." So Maeda said, "Okay, I'll do the middle relief stuff." But he looked pretty good with the Dodgers in the postseason, pitching sometimes every day, every other day. He logged a lot of innings in that middle relief role.
Well, yeah, and if he can do that here, that's gonna be key for the Twins, because it seems the last month it's been the bullpen that's let them down late in games. And, we have Duran in the back end of the bullpen who's been wishy-washy last month. But if we get Maeda, who's looked really good his last couple starts out of the bullpen, I think it's also a big boost. With as open as the American League is this year, it feels like this could be a year the Twins make a run. I'm not getting my hopes up about it, because it still always seems that we just crap our pants every time we're in the playoffs. But I think at least now we have the pitching to compete. Something that hasn't been the case the last few years. Yeah,
the AL looks wide open too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there really could be literally anyone that makes the playoffs. The AL could win it all, or it could be eliminated first round. It doesn't really seem like there's huge favorites.
All right, of course, your Vikings in there against the Chargers. I thought last I saw was around a pick 'em to -1 either side. Of course, they're trying to improve the run game there in Minnesota. Can they? I don't know. Well, the Chargers going in, Eckler's still a question mark, but I don't know. It looks like there'll be a lot of scoring there on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even though we've lost, I've been impressed. I've been impressed with this Vikings offense. I mean, the turnovers have been kind of fluky. Once again, it comes down to this front office refusing to improve the offensive line this offseason. I mean, if Kirk Cousins was half these quarterbacks in the league, he'd already be out for the season with as much as he's gotten hit. And it's hurt the running game too. So I think this all falls back on the front office, thinking that the offensive line that struggled last year is going to be good enough this year. But this offense is still going to be good. I think that 0-2 start, but I mean the rest of the division has not looked great either. So I think we're feeling as good as we can feel for an 0-2 team. But if we lose this weekend, now there's going to be some panic up here in the north.
Yeah, I mean, there are some rumors flying around. The fact that why the Jets have not made any action is they're waiting to see if Minnesota gives up on Cousins. I believe he's on an expiring contract. And should they lose this, go 0-3, maybe 0-4, that we could see a trade of Cousins there for draft picks.
Yeah, the one thing you remember, though, is Kirk Cousins is a no-trade clause. And I think he still wants to end his career. I think, if the Vikings are competitive this season, I think he might take a pay cut next year to stick around with this team. I think he really enjoys Minnesota. I don't really know if Kirk Cousins wants to go deal with that New York media. Of course, he'd be the savior, but once he did that first interception or first fumble, yeah, it's not gonna. He already had to deal with the Washington media. I don't think he wants to deal with the New York media. It's hard for me to believe that he's going to give up that no trade clause, especially in 2 weeks. I mean, the Jets aren't going to be in. If the Vikings are struggling, I don't think the Jets are going to be able to limp their ways to victories either. So you really have to make up a lot of ground out there in a very tough division.
There you go. Shane here with Blue Jays plus 122 here against the Yankees. This would have a start time 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Shane, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Football, NFL, college football, handful of Major League Baseball on the board tonight. Good start to college football for Shane. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I love this college football game up there. I have it in a 3-pack along with my top NFL play, top MLB play of the day for $39.99. Or if you want my MLB, or not my MLB, my NFL play separately, it's $29.99. But hop on long term. I'm not a huge fan of this NFL card this weekend in terms of in betting, but I do love tomorrow's college football card. So I think your best bet with me this weekend is to hop on the 3-day pack starting today. Get today, tomorrow, and then all college football Saturday, and then let's make some money all weekend.
That's right, guys. Make some money all weekend here. You got a boat with Shane Mickle over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results from college football. Plays on the board tonight, a 3-pack or go long term. As he said, promo code PICK, save that 15% off. All right, Shane, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week, but we can always catch up with you as well on the written form as you can major contributor over to Pick Dogs and Sports Chat.
Yeah, we got I split up all my college football for the weekend today, and then of course I basically cover everything else. But I'm covering English Premier League again this season, so make sure to check that out on Sports Chat Place if soccer is something you're interested in.
All right, check it out there from Shane Mickle in written form. All right, Shane, have a great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Have a good weekend, everyone.
You as well. Shane Mickle here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here with our coverage. Up next, let's bring in Millz. Get some Thursday night football coverage from Millz Young and catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's bring him in right now. I think we're set to roll with Millz. Millz, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? How's everybody doing today?
It's going great. All right, here we go. Thursday night football tonight features Giants and 49ers. We see that big line here, 49ers 10.5. The total 43.5. We'll be looking at this one a little differently.
Yeah, man, I'm going to definitely attack this one on the player prop, man. You know, those Giants, though, man, they were, down like 21 points versus the Cardinals. Then they pulled out the win, so, you know, they got to have their coach feeling real good and everything. But they're going to be a loss of a player, Saquon Barkley, that they usually rely on. Besides that, you know, the other players that they have in the game, they can't really rely on them too much. But we're going back to the old faithful, the one who has the chemistry with the quarterback, the wide receiver out there that's been there for about 2 years now, pretty much played and suited up all those games and didn't miss any. He's not the guy that's going to go for 5 receptions in the game. He's not the guy that's going to give you 100 yards in the game, but he is the guy that's going to give you over 2.5 receptions in the game. The guy that I'm talking about is Darius Slayton, man. Him and Daniel Jones been there now for a while. I'm taking him over 2.5 receptions. So far, both of these games, he was able to hit that prop. He had 6 targets in week 1, going for 3 receptions. 5 targets in week 2, going for 3 receptions. The average of his receptions a game is 3. I don't know why it's not set at 3 at plus money and higher. The book still ain't on to it yet. I've been playing this prop now for about a year or two. But, yeah. Darren Waller, he's going to be a nice addition to him, but, you know, Shepard's going to be out there as well. But, like I said, Slayton's been the one that's been the most consistent out there, you know, with Daniel Jones. So I'm going to definitely be taking him to go over 2.5 receptions on this game.
All right, going over 2.5 reception here. And, of course, some of the receivers there are young. One thing you look for is experience, especially in a game like this, short week, and you have a tough opponent in the Niners.
Yeah, man, when you turn him right back around, you know, like I said, he's going to be throwing to Isaiah Hodgkinson out there. You know, he's going to be throwing to Waller out there, somebody that he doesn't really know like that. Doesn't have the blanket no more of Saquon Barkley to just dump off for 4 receptions. He has Matt Breida out there now. You know, and besides that, he doesn't have a real number 1 wide receiver. You know, he didn't even draft one either. And he doesn't even, so it's going to be kind of hard out there for him to do anything else but to rely on who he knows. And that's going to be Darius Slayton out there. I don't think they're going to be able to run too much on the San Francisco 49er team with Breida. But I do like Daniel Jones over his rushing props at 37 yards out there. He's one of those players that's always good to tuck the ball, even when just pretty much before the even play starts. If he thinks he has the advantage and he can pick 10 to 15 yards up, if he's catching the defense sleeping, he'll just go ahead and drop the play and just run the ball. So I actually like him to go over his rushing prop too in this game a little bit with Saquon not in the game.
There you go. Some plays here from Millz here. Slayton over 2.5 receptions here. This one will have a start time 8:15 Eastern time. What's happened in the UFC world?
Man, big draw just came out last week, man, between Valentina Shevchenko and Alex Grasso. A lot of people lost a lot of money on there because Shevchenko was supposed to win, and the judge gave Grasso a 10-8 round in the last round, which everybody knew it wasn't a 10-8 round. By them doing that, it made the whole fight become a draw instead of Shevchenko winning. So that just kicked off last week. This week, we got a new UFC Fight Night card going on. Rafael Fiziev versus Matisse Gamrot. Top contenders going on in the 155 division. You got about 11 fights on the card. Not a lot of names that a lot of people are aware of, but regular time start. So, I got 3 plays up there that I got locked and loaded, going to have up on the site later on tonight. And I went over the whole card for you guys on the UFC bookie beater out there on Pick Dog site. So after you guys are done smashing the like button and watching the drive-through, head on over there and watch the UFC video too.
All right, your Jags are at home. The line opens 7. It's been bet up to 8. And I'm seeing some 8.5 someplace here against the Texans.
Man, the Texans always play the Jaguars tough. It's going to be a close game. C.J. Stroud threw for 300 yards last week. They're going to let him try to do the same thing against the Jaguars. We don't got a good secondary at all. You can do whatever you want to these cornerbacks of the Jaguars. So I think it's going to be a close game. I really like the over. They got it at 37.5 points. To me, it's a little bit too low not to go. We do got the Jacksonville Jaguars who got that sour taste in their mouth, man. They only put up 9 points out last week. Got in the red zone 3 times and couldn't score. Couldn't be efficient. Christian Kirk went for over 100 yards and 12 receptions. But the whole team hasn't been clicking. So far with the Jaguars, it's been a one player doing one thing on offensive thing. What I mean is it hasn't been the showing of Evan Ingram. You barely seen Travis Etienne in week 1. You've seen Calvin Ridley in one game, Christian Kirk in the other. No, we need consistency. We need chemistry. So the best bet in that game is the over 37.5 points.
There you go. Okay, Millz, a team you also follow. These Falcons off to a good start. A tough. Going into the road here against the Lions. Lions coming off a loss. This line's only 3 here. Open 2.5, now up to 3. Lions laying 3, total 46.
Yeah, me and Jay was just talking about this earlier, and I was just talking about this on another podcast earlier too as well. Yeah, this to me is a game to where I think it's 2 teams who are destined to get in the playoffs this year. Last year, we see them taking those strides, deep on in the season, to be ready for next year. They both went over the win props for the season, but they weren't able to make the playoffs. This year, I think both teams are going to be able to make the playoffs. When it comes down to this game, though, Bijan Robinson, man, he's something special out there. They're going to be going through him. Desmond Ridder finally had a good game last week, running the ball, not just trying to throw the ball. And he was throwing it deep. You seen what Matt Collins did to that guy Savage out there? It's kind of savage out there. But, yeah, so in this game, best bet, take the over in here. I'm going to be honest with you. The Lions at money line price, I'm not betting it. I'm taking the points with the Falcons, if anything, man. I'm not going to go against it when they're 2-0. We haven't been this way in about 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a little while there. All right, we got notice there from Millz here. And, of course, on the record here with the slate over 2.5 reception. Thursday Night Football begins 8:15 Eastern Time. Find it over on Prime, Amazon Prime Video. Go ahead.
I got a play for you too for tonight's game. It's a bonus one. You want it?
Yeah.
Let me write this up.
All right, I gotta write it down.
All right.
Uh-oh. What do we got here? Hang on. Let me pull you on the full screen here. Okay, what do you got? There you go. CMC anytime touchdown. There you go. From Millz coming through with his plays for you guys here. Christian McCaffrey. Anytime touchdown. Runs the ball like crazy, man. But, I'm a little nervous about Christian McCaffrey on short weeks. I will tell you that. Back in his Carolina days.
Yeah, they might not give him the workload. You're right about that. With all the history and the backs that they do got back there, I think Elijah Mitchell did get back into the game. But, it's just one of those things. I think there's 17 weeks of NFL football. I think he's going to score at least 15 weeks out the season. So, yeah, I can just bet it every week, and I think you're going to be profiting at the end of the season.
Because if you're inside the 3, you're around the goal line, you know who it's going to. I'm just saying between, from the 20s to 20s, maybe it'll be the other guys. But I think when you get right around that area where you want to punch it in, it's going to go to McCaffrey. There's no doubt about that. I could see them limiting his carries, but when we get to the end near the goal line, I think he gets it.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's the same thing too, man. How he can catch it out the backfield, you
Yeah.
know, like a Marshall Falk, back in the day. So he can catch it two different ways, kind of like an LT, LaDainian Thomas back in the day. But he's a small player, doesn't play small at all. I remember that guy when he came out from Stanford, man. He was going to college when Leonard Fournette was coming out of LSU. Both them guys were putting up good stuff, man. Plus, he got in his genes. Correct me. I know it sounds stupid, but Ed McCaffrey was his pops.
Yeah.
Ed McCaffrey was a beast that tight end for the Denver
Yep.
Broncos back in the day. I remember those days. So, man, his son is the truth.
Yeah, and also, too, he could put them to sleep, not get a whole lot of carries, but when you get to the end zone, can go out wide and get that touchdown via a short pass, catch and run. I mean, I think they're going to limit him between the tackles. That's my guess. And but again, if you're in the goal line situation, get it to him. He'll get you in the end zone. All right, there we go for Millz. Bonus action there from Millz on the Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. All right, Millz, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have football on the board tonight, NFL, college football, baseball, heading into a huge weekend. We see Millz showing great profit over the last 30 days. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Man, I got 2 plays to get you paid today. I got one in the MLB. I got one in college football, too. Besides that, that's 2 ways to get you paid. I got my prop shop up there, so I went over all the player props for you guys to get some money. So go ahead and you can bet those up, too. All free. Only thing you got to do is comment what you like. Besides that, it's Thursday. Tony, what they need to do.
Get that 3-day pass. That's the way to
Man,
roll.
you get that 3-day pass, you're getting everything included for the whole weekend, man. You're getting everything I got up there today. You're getting all my college football bets, my NFL, my MLB, and my UFC card. So, you can't go wrong. That's the best value on Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Got Brother Millz Young over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results the last 30 days. We talked about that 3-day pass, way to roll. You got all of Millz's premium plays here from Major League Baseball, NFL, college football, the UFC card coming up, man. It's a big weekend. Best time to get the multi-passes with all these sports overlapping. It's your best value there. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotion as well. Add cappers, save even more money. That's the way you roll with Millz. All right, Millz, as always, great having the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you next week, but we can also catch up with your video series, your UFC rundown. We got a lot of prop videos you put up on the site, and of course, you guest as well on Jay's show.
Yeah, man. Thursday is where you get a lot of me, So, yeah, you can catch me on Jay's show. We went over some of the games on the NFL card for you guys. Besides that, got the NFL prop shop up there. I went over 5 different props, one LB prop to get you on top. Got the UFC bookie beater up there. Went over all the fight cards on there. So, yeah, go ahead, check it out, man. Let me know what you guys like in there. Always just trying to give you guys the best content over here at Pick Dogs. I'm going to try to hit you guys on this weekend show, man, because I missed them morning shows, man. The morning shows used to be great, man, in the morning. But it's crazy over here. Daughter playing soccer in the morning, so it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's on the West Coast, it's tough, man. They moved it up even earlier, 9:30 to 6:30 our time, a.m. So there you go, Millz. You can always do that, or you can always take the old camera at the soccer place, right? With the up there. So either way, we'll see how that works.
Do the old parking lot. Just give a play out in the parking lot with the dark background.
Yeah,
and who's that?
That's right. That's right. We'll roll that way. All right, Millz, enjoy the weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate everybody out there, man. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Everybody smash that like button. Free picks. You can't go wrong over here. Tony T, look at him, man. Wearing a button-up professional every day. Give it up for my man.
There you go, man. Appreciate that. All right, Millz, great weekend. We'll catch up with you next week. Millz Young here on the drive-thru, guys. Check him out over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get signed up. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, it's Jay Briggs. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch him everywhere on the channel. He's all over, man. He's got an NFL show going up right now. We've got also the morning show. We host the weekends here. We'll bring in Jay ready to roll here. And, of course, a little downer on some Cowboy news, but we can get over that. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, man? You alluded to it. I'm sad, man. My favorite player tore his ACL in practice today during 1v1s. Why are we doing 1v1s in week 3 of practice? I don't know. When we got the Arizona Cardinals rolling in, man, that's a huge blow to what I thought was the best defense in football.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the other one tonight. But, yeah, huge blow to my Cowboys team. But I got to process it over the rest of the day.
Well, the whole idea for this season is for the Cowboys to play less defense, and that's what we talked about that before with the coach taking over. We're going to run the football. We're going to play what I call Bill Parcells type of football. It's probably before your time, but with those Giants, he was a master of milking the last 5 minutes of every game by running the football, short passes, moving the chains, keeping that defense fresh. I think that's the direction they're going. We don't need all these passing attempts from Dak Prescott. We saw what that did to Tony Romo. It ruined his career. Took too many hits. I mean, the key is you don't want your quarterback getting hit in this league. Right.
And I think that's the formula. I want to see us run the football more. We got a good running back by committee led by Tony Pollard. Play good defense, run the football, put your quarterback in good positions, let him make great decisions. I think that's the formula for the Cowboys. That was the formula the rookie year where we had the most success, Dak's rookie year. So we can see if we can replicate it this year. A huge blow with Trayvon Diggs, but defense I still think is one of the top in the NFL. And if the offense can do what it can do, hopefully we can lift that Lombardi for the first time in my lifetime.
That's right. First time in Jay's lifetime. It seemed like they were doing a lot in the 90s, but Jay wasn't around by then. So that's how it rolls.
They haven't even been to an NFC championship game in my lifetime, and I'll be 24 next month.
Goodness. It's a long dry spell for these Cowboys, America's team. Well, I don't know. Yeah, they don't say that too much anymore. I think that was with Tom Landry. They were that was pretty much the standard of excellence with Tom Landry. I think that applies to that Cowboys era. But anyway, a new era in college football, the Deion Sanders era, and we thought the first week one was a big challenge because they had this big number up here. Here's another one, right? Now they're going to be without their best two-way player out there, and we've got Colorado here on the road against Oregon. We talked about Colorado a lot. You and I both had our question marks about Oregon. We see the line here. Oregon 21 total sits now up to 70.
So, Tony T, this game actually is eerily similar, in my opinion, to that first game. We talked about with TCU going up against this Colorado Buffaloes team. And in that one, I told y'all I thought grabbing the points with Colorado was a great place to be and sprinkling some on the money line, which would probably pay dividends. And I'm coming to tell you guys the exact same story here. Are the Oregon Ducks better than TCU, and is this the best team that Colorado has faced thus far this year? Yes, I agree. And is not having Travis Hunter, a two-way player, arguably probably like one of the top 3 players in all of college football, in my opinion, does that hurt? Yes, I do think it hurts. But I still think the Colorado Buffaloes have a legitimate shot to keep this game close and win it, but I'm going to grab the 21 points with them here in this one. Shedeur Sanders is one of the most clutchest quarterbacks I've ever seen. When he was down against TCU, what did he do? Late in that fourth quarter, every possession they were down. Touchdown, scored, put his team ahead. This past weekend against Colorado State, enough people are not talking about it. They were down late in that football game. They got the ball with a minute 40 seconds or whatever it was. He drove his team 98 yards, cool, calm, collected, scored the touchdown, and then got the 2-point conversion, led him to overtime. And his coach, just so happens to be his dad, trusted him so much. In college football, you damn near always want to get the ball second, so you put the pressure on your opponent. They put the ball in Shedeur's hands, man, early in that game, and to apply the pressure, and the pressure he applied. Deion Sanders, man, I think also getting lost in this is how good of a head coach this guy is. Since he has moved up to the college level, he is 27-7 as a head coach at the college football level. I say all this to say I think the Colorado Buffaloes compete. I think their offense, even though missing Travis Hunter, can score on this Oregon defense that I have questions about. We know the Pac-12 defenses are stiff. That's been the case with them for the past few seasons. Is Oregon bigger in the trenches? Yes, but we've seen Colorado beat Colorado State, who was bigger in the trenches, and Nebraska. Nebraska was damn near huge in them trenches. Colorado sufficed there, man. I think they can score enough points to keep us within the 21. I don't trust Bo Nix here in these big games. I'm taking Colorado.
All right, Jay says Colorado plus 21. I have to, at this point, I have to agree with you on this one. I've agreed with you on all. The only way I look at the Colorado State game was I went over in that one, but I like the points as well with you on this one. You know, when you look at Oregon's schedule, right? They played Portland State, they played Hawaii. Okay, so just get rid of those stats. Okay, they played one Power 5 team on the road, and we talked about this already. They look beatable, right? They went against Texas Tech. and their defense got torched too. They gave up 282 passing yards, 174 yards on the ground. Tech rushed for over 5 yards a carry on them, and they really were able to move that football through the air. Of course, Texas Tech committed a lot of turnovers because they're Texas Tech. They're not Texas Longhorns. They're not they're not A&M. They're Tech. They're what we call the nerds, right? So that's a technology school out there in Texas. So again, from the one game I saw Oregon play against a Power 5 school, in my eyes, they look beatable.
And I agree with you. They did look beatable. Texas Tech moved the football on them, and that Texas Tech offense is not this Colorado offense. It's just not. I think Shedeur Sanders is a top 5 quarterback in college football right now. I think that's very safe to say. He damn near leads in most of the passing statistics, and I think he can be able to move the football here on this Oregon defense and score some points. So. Give me Colorado plus the points, and I'm sprinkling some on the money line straight up.
7 plus 759. You're line shopping, especially on this money line, because there could be wide variance here. Because you have to expect there's going to be people out there betting Colorado money line, because why not? They've won every time, and they hit that big one in week 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're up, man. Because like I said, we took them week 1 on the money line, so we're up. We got a couple of $100 left over to put on the money line here. The play is the plus 21, but how can we pass up the huge plus money price in a game I do think they can compete in? And it's college football. This is the land of the upset, the land of the heartbreak. That's
right. And of course in Oregon, no national championship last time I checked. Okay, I understand they talk up big. USC has national championships. Oregon doesn't.
Right.
People seem to forget about that. But USC has the program. It's been a while. That memorable game against the Longhorns and Trojans, but Oregon was not in that title game. Was USC?
Right. They did get to 1 and they lost. Correct? Who was it? Was it against
Georgia?
Was it?
Or Alabama?
Was it Florida State or was it Florida State?
Yeah, they did get to 1, right?
Was it Oregon, man. Florida State with Mariota, Jameis Winston?
Yeah, that's right. That might have been it there. That's right. Winston. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, and then they lost.
They lose so many times, it's hard to remember they got one. They just seem to never get to that point, right? It just always falls short. But to me, you got to hoist a trophy, okay? Winning, losing, losing the title game, okay, we'll give you credit for getting there, but you've never hoisted the trophy. But people just talk to like Oregon, like they got all these champions. No, they don't. They have none. And to our knowledge, they've been to 1 title game. And of course, they often get those late season losses that really screws up their chances to even get in the playoffs. So there we go. Colorado plus 121 here against Oregon. Of course, a lot of talks here with the Cowboys coming into this weekend. They got to, these are the games you got to worry about, right? These are the games you got to worry about, because on paper the Cowboys are so much better than Arizona, but it's a road game and they're laying a bundle here about 13 to 12.5.
Yeah. Guys like Big Al McMorty and Eric will tell me that laying double digits in the NFL is never a good idea. And the stats are there to back them up. And I fully understand those guys' arguments. I understand. But it's not 100%. It's not. It's just not. Double-digit favorites do win, man. And the Cowboys, I believe, are better at every single position group than the Arizona Cardinals. I will say the Cardinals are 2-0 ATS, as the 2 teams they have played were NFC East teams. And the Giants and the Commanders look fairly decent in both. Laying 12 is a lot of lumber, but now I think they kind of play for Trayvon Diggs, man. And I see this Cardinals offense really struggling against one of the best defenses in the National Football League. I'm laying the wood.
Laying the wood there. All right. And of course, the Longhorns, they got it done against Wyoming. Slow start. People think Uvers only plays good against Alabama. We'll see how this rolls. I think it's a tough. I think they're laying about 15 to 14.5 at Baylor. Baylor's got some quarterback issues, but it's the big number here to lay on the road here in a Big 12 conference game, in state.
Yeah. All the Texas teams love to get their shot at Texas, so I expect Baylor to come to play. Even though this is probably the worst Baylor team in recent memory, they have no quarterback. And we saw that become evident as they lost their first game to Texas State. I do think Texas is 15 points better than Baylor. Now, on the road, a rivalry type game, things can get weird in these type games, but based on the talent on these teams, man, I do think Texas warrants laying this number. Quinn Ewers, I'm not sure many people know, but he's arguably one of the greatest high school quarterbacks ever. Just off what he did here in Texas in high school football at South Lake Carroll. There's a reason why he was highly touted. He's the real deal. I see them beating up on Baylor in that one.
All right, a regional Texas rivalry, SMU and TCU going head-to-head. Looks like TCU going to lay in a touchdown. They got a little healthier last week. But they really dominated that Houston Cougars team. They just look bigger and stronger, and you just smash them in the mouth.
Yeah, this is a really interesting game. I'm interested to see SMU these next few seasons as they move to the ACC. That's a team right here in the heart of Dallas, like smack in the middle downtown. They've been wanting to be, part of a big conference for quite some time, really like my whole lifetime, as they used to be. But now they're moving back up. This is a team that just raised $100 million, now moving to the ACC. Dallas doesn't really have a college. It's SMU, but now I think they're going to start to move it back into that national scene. I think we see them compete, man. I do. I know last time we saw them against Oklahoma, it wasn't their best game. But I don't think TCU is nearly as good as they were last year. I think SMU is flying under the radar. I think they can compete here. TCU might win it, but I would look at grabbing the points there with Southern Methodist.
How far is Austin from Dallas?
3.5, 4.
Oh wow! So they're not. Oh yeah, okay. So that's a big. Yeah. There is no Dallas.
I don't think people quite realize how big Texas is.
Yeah,
Texas is huge.
Oh yeah, it's a huge school. Another one out there, A&M here hosting Auburn. Auburn. This is an SEC battle here. Early start here. A&M going to be laying 8.5 in this one.
A&M, man, we saw them fall flat on their face against Miami, Mitch's team. This is a team that's just been their MO under Jimbo Fisher. Like, they're hype every year coming into the regular season, but they haven't done much of anything. They're the Oregon of Texas is what they are. And they always thought that they're just like so much better because they were in the SEC and everybody's in the Big 12. But you're a doormat in the SEC. You haven't really done anything over there. You guys haven't had much success since like Johnny Manziel. I don't get the hype behind A&M. I'm sorry. I think a lot of the hype comes from them being in the SEC. I don't think this team is that damn good. And I would probably look at the other way in that one.
All right, talking about not damn good. This Ham Houston State. What are they doing? What are they doing in FBS, man? Embarrassing the state of Texas like this. They're going to be in Houston here getting 12 points, 12.5.
Who are they playing again?
Houston on the road. Cougars.
Okay. I'm going to have to lay the wood with Houston in that one. If they lose, if that game is even competitive, I don't see Houston's fan base letting them live that down. That's one that you kind of got to stomp down on.
Some people may not think this team is from Texas with the name of Rice, but it's not that they grow rice in Texas. It's I guess it's a guy that somebody in their Texas history. Rice, the team resurging. Look at the favorite 2.5 on the road at USF.
That is a really interesting game. They got a transfer quarterback in there that's playing really well. We saw them try to compete with Texas early in the season. USF, though, we saw them play really tough with Alabama. That's a really good game that I'm not sure enough people are going to have their eyes on. I can't wait to watch that one. As of right now, I would probably lean Rice. I think UCF kind of outpunched their weight a little bit last week. I think a lot of that probably is to do with maybe Alabama is just not as good this year as we think they are. I think Rice does win that football game.
All right, there you go with Rice, and of course, quickly UTSA. Frank Harris has been injured here. They're going to be getting over 3 touchdowns in Tennessee.
I dislike both of these teams. Both of these teams have let me down. Tennessee just laid an all-out egg last week. I would not feel comfortable laying that many points with Tennessee. But in that same breath, this is not the same UTSA team of years past. This offense has not been clicking at the rate that they probably have in years past. And we saw that in the Houston game week 1 with their quarterback throwing 3 interceptions on back-to-back drives, down 3 points. And I think all 3 were in opponents on the opponent's side of the field. So that's just not bet on material for me. So that's just a complete stay away game.
Stay away game. And the finally completing the state of Texas tour with Jay. Tech on the road at West Virginia. West Virginia gets the win. I had that as a premium, but man, looking at that box score, I said, man, that's one ugly looking box score there. Red Raiders 6 on the road.
Backyard brawl that West Virginia are coming off of in that one. Like I said, Texas Tech burnt me twice. They should have won straight up in their first game of the year. I don't know how they lost that game. And then I doubled back and had them again against Oregon, and they had the cover through the pick 6 there in the end to not get the cover. That's losing material. I can't lay wood there with Texas Tech, and I think that West Virginia may be slightly underrated, and we saw that last week with them winning that huge game.
There you go. We got this. We got the state of Texas covered with Jay here. College football. He was on with the show here on Colorado plus the 21 against Oregon. All right, Jay. Let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. College football, NFL, and baseball on the board tonight. What do you have going over at the site?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have 3 plays up on the site tonight. I got them all 3 in a money-making 3-pack, or you can go buy them all 3 individually. I got to play in the NFL game. We're currently 3-0-1 last 4 on our play of the days in the NFL, so you can scoop that up in tonight's San Francisco Giants game. I got to play in the college football game. We're currently 8-2 last 10 on those in college football, so been hitting out a really good clip on that. You can scoop that up. And then I got a $19 play in Major League Baseball that I'm absolutely loving tonight. So, again, you can buy all 3 individually. You can buy them in a money-making 3-pack, or you can hop on something long-term, hop on a weekend pass. You get all 3 of those, plus every play that I release through that time frame. It's the best time, like Mill said earlier, man. Hop on a 3-day pass. Let's make some money through college football Saturday and NFL Sunday.
All right, guys, got to go with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dog Swim. A lot of results here this weekend here from football. Great time to get that all sports pass from Jay. Get all of his pre and plays. Baseball, you've got your college football, your NFL coming up over the weekend. Remember the playoffs from baseball, not too far away. A week from Tuesday, we get the wild card rounds going on. So a lot of stretch run baseball here. We'll see how his Rangers can do as we hit the stretch run. Houston,
I hope they get in.
That's right.
The Mariners.
That's
the Mariners. So it's mano y mano.
There we go. It's getting really down to the wire here in baseball. So get on board. Long-term pass, that 30-day pass will get you set up with Jay. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. Right, Jay? It's always great having you show. To you that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. We can always catch a lot of you here on the channel with your live show, NFL show, of course, mornings as well.
Yep, a lot of content from me here on the best Pick Dogs, on the best betting channel ever, man, here at Pick Dogs. Catch me in the morning with Mitch and Chris. You can catch me in the afternoons with my live jam session. And I do plenty of other content as well as hosting the weekend show. So tune in with us here at Pick Dogs, man, and let's continue to make some money betting sports.
Be sure to like, subscribe, set notifications so when Jay's live, you're live with him. Get the plays in real time. All right, Jay, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Tony T. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow.
Got it. Jay Briggs.
And at halftime tonight.
And at halftime tonight, that's right. Halftime show as well. Mitch and Jay going mano a mano with that halftime of the Giants and 49ers. All right, Jay here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. We're a little behind because our games go off past the 7 o'clock Eastern hour. We've got the Jay's rundown from some of the teams in the state of Texas, and I think they have the most of any teams in FBS college football now that we got Sam Houston in there. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's bring in Wayne Scott. We'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Wayne's been doing great work for us here over on the site, Major League Baseball, with some boxing as well. Wayne, what's happening? Oh, we lost your sound there, Wayne. Yeah, I might have to check that sound, get that sound corrected here. And we'll get back to you here in just a second. We got to just get that corrected. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and, we'll get to my play here in just a second for you guys as we wait for Wayne to get his signal connected correctly here. And I think we'll just go ahead and go in here. We're going Giants Dodgers over the total in this one. And this was Jay's game, but so let me go ahead and get the right connection, the game lower third for you here. We're looking at some of the scores earlier. Yeah, we're going to go. Actually, it's come down to 8.5 here, the sharpest book in the world. So I'm kind of going against some of the sharp money. I don't mind that at all because Harrison has not been someone I want to back in today's game. And we've got over the total here of 9. Harrison on the mound here for the Giants. A rookie, ARA over 5, whip of 1.40. Ryan Yarbrough, primary pitcher. You know, the Rays have used him back in the day as a middle reliever, opener. Hasn't really been that effective. That's why he's bounced around the league a little bit here. Giants have lost 5 of 6 on this road trip, and their pitching staff has just gotten hammered. I mean, just hammered. A little embarrassed over the performance last night. I look for a bounce back here. Harrison past 3 starts allowed 15 runs in 14 2/3 innings. San Francisco bullpen over the past 10 games, 4.43, but trending even poorly than that. We saw what they've been doing here of late. It's not been pretty with this Giants pitching staff. I look for the Dodgers to have a big night at the plate tonight. And, of course, Yarbrough is not someone I'm a big fan of either as a primary pitcher. I think Emmett Sheehan might be in there as well. So we might be looking at some bottom feeders here from the Dodgers pitching staff. And they had their share of injuries this year. So, you're seeing these names in here. Yarbrough in there will be primary, no doubt. But I believe it was Sheehan, if I wasn't mistaken. Let me double check that today here. I think they had Sheehan penciled in. Oh, let's see. I'll get back to this screen here because I usually show primary on my numbers here. So let me see who the opener is. It is Sheehan. Yeah, Sheehan is no great shakes. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So we'll go here over the total in this one. And this game will have a start time here at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Guys, over at Pick Dodge Premium tonight, I got a 3-pack up there. The best bet here from the NFL, along with my premium play here from college football and baseball bundled in a 3-pack. I'm the units leader right now in college football this year over at Pick Dog, so go ahead and get signed up. Or go ahead and get the long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30-day all sorts pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period, just like when you go over to my handicapper page and make that purchase. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. We got, go ahead and we'll bring in Wayne. His game will begin in about 15 minutes as part of that Fox Thursday night coverage tonight on Fox. They got 2 games in the primetime hour. First pitch, 7:15 Eastern time, and this is one of them from Jay. So from Wayne. So let's bring Wayne in again. Hope we got his connection right. What's going on, Wayne?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope
all right, everything's
can hear me. I hope
we
everybody's
can
doing
hear
good
you
out there.
You're coming in fine, so let me go ahead and get your game. So we're ready to go here with Wayne. Orioles and Guardians going head-to-head here with the Orioles favored here, minus 148. We see that total of 8.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of my sazon, man, where one of my favorite bets on the season is coming down to the end of the season. Playoffs coming up, so I don't mind giving them my secrets. I'm talking about the bigger the line, the quicker I was laying this. I'm talking about I don't care if Orioles are home, away. I don't care what pitcher they got on. Orioles run line after a loss has been straight money. The value is not there no more. I was getting plus 180 to 160 like butter before the All-Star break. They made adjustments. Probably was giving around plus 120 to plus 140 in certain spots, but this is a team that's been covering this angle at about 70%. Only do they play well on the road. Only 5-5 in their last 10, but they're 8-2 on the last 10 on the road. It's a team with 95 wins. They still have something to play for. With the Rays, 1 game behind them in the win column, although 3 games behind them in the loss column. I understand Cleveland has something to play for too, with the Tigers right behind them. They're only 4-6 in their last 10. They're 6-4 in their last 10 at home. But Cleveland doesn't play well after a loss. Cleveland also plays bad in game 1. And Cleveland's bats have been weak to me. I just don't trust them at all. They're an average team at home. And like I mentioned, man, the Orioles after a loss, 19-9 as away favorites on the run line. That's 67%. After a loss, they're 35-21. That's 62%. The Orioles just away after a loss, 55-22%, man. This is a team that refuses to lose. They play well on the road. They play good on it. Just like I said, Cleveland on game 1 of the series. They play good on game 1 of the series, 33-16. And besides all that, I like this pitcher matchup, man. Grayson Rodriguez, he's been a young pitcher playing good recently. 3-2, 1 point in his last 5, 1.4 ERA. Coming off a game where he only allowed 5 hits, 0 runs against a solid Rays team. On the other side of this, they got Hunter Gaddis on the mound for Cleveland. I just don't trust this guy. And besides not trusting this guy, in both of his last games, he's given up a home run. This Orioles team can hit home runs like nobody with this lineup. And there you go. Yeah, we're not getting plus 120 to the plus 180s that I've been getting all season. Pretty much why it's not a premium bet. Only minus 105. But I love Orioles after a loss on the run line, man. Take advantage in good spots when you see that closing out this season.
All right, we got Wayne here. Orioles here at run line. Laid the run in half, even money to plus 108. They are the road team, so they get all their 9 at bats here. Yeah, Gaddis is someone I lost confidence in. I think around his second start, he was at home. When he gets in high leverage situations, the guy really stresses out. He gets jittery. His head, he starts nervous, looking all around. And I noticed that his body language, and I was not confident. I think the Guardians saw the same thing because they've sent him to the minors. Looks like he does carry a little bit too much weight for my liking. When he left to the minors, came back a little lean. He really hasn't stuck in the lineup. And one thing that's bothering me a lot with him is his strikeout rate is only 13.5%. When you pitch into contact, this Orioles team will make you pay for that.
Exactly, man. You're definitely gonna have to strike them out because if you giving them stuff over the plate, they've shown you what they've done, man. This is a high velocity hitting team. They pack up a lot of runs. They don't leave guys on base a lot, and they hit a good amount of home runs. So anything getting left over the plate with this team, it's the wrong thing to do. And like I said, both of his last starts, he's given up a home run. I can see him giving up 2 home runs at least in this one.
Yeah, and the angle here is, of course, the hot Royals, but also, too, it's kind of going to me, it's a fade of Gaddis here, putting the team in a hole early. I can see that happening. This is on Fox tonight here at 7:15 Eastern Time. Fox has 2 games tonight on the board. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Wayne has been on fire in baseball, 806 units of profit. We got a few on the board from baseball, NFL, and college football with that Georgia State game. Getting a lot of money here as we hit the near start time. What do you have going over at the site?
I have 1 play left. I had 2 plays today. My baseball play hit. My MLB hit and run play today. That was with the Brewers. Probably one of the easiest catches I had all week. I'll be thankful for catches like that, man. I'm tired of these sweaters in this baseball. The team being up 4 runs, and then you blink your eye, and then they tied or down. So I definitely appreciate when the team comes out and nails it from beginning to end. But besides that, I do have a play in this college game. I'm loving this college game. I'm loving the side that I'm on for tonight. So if you want to get on that side with me, hop over to the site, run over there. You can grab that play for $19.99. And as these guys been mentioning, long term is always the way to go. Definitely with all the action this week. College football, NFL, still got baseball, 2 boxing cards, plenty of plays that I'll be on this weekend. So if you want to get on them plays with me, the best way to do that is grab them long term so you can get them right away.
That's right, guys. Get over Wayne Scott over at Pick.com. Great Major League Baseball season this year. You see the great results that he's put up this year. Also showing great results in college football, 320 units of profit. Great time to get on board with Wayne's long-term pass, 7-day pass. Get all the football this weekend and even the next weekend, as well as all the baseball. As we just the baseball season is over. A week from Sunday is the final day of Major League Baseball. Then a week from Tuesday, we start the wild card round from Major League Baseball. So a very good time to get on board with the long-term passes. Pick is a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you on the show. See that success. If we don't catch up with you tomorrow, we'll catch up with you again next week. But of course, you're working on that boxing series. You gave us a boxing pick yesterday. The guys can go back and watch the replay of the show yesterday with that boxing pick. And of course, we can always catch you on those weekend shows here with Jay.
Yes, sir. I will definitely be on there this weekend giving giving out a banger on Saturday for college football and a banger for NFL. And that boxing video is out here. I don't break down the whole card like Millz because the lines aren't as good as boxing. But the main event, the line is great, -130 on the favorite, and even money on the underdog. If you want to see what side that I'm on, you can go over there and check that out. Hit that like button for me. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you like, even if you agree with me or don't agree with me. I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So let me know what you like, and yeah, check that out for me, guys.
Check it out, guys. Check out Wayne Scott over at Pick Dog Trim. Get on board with his long-term pass. And, of course, check out his boxing series now up on as well. All right, great night, Wayne. We'll catch up with you again next week.
I appreciate you for having me, Tony T. Y'all take care tonight, Pick Dog family. Good luck with all your best tonight.
You as well. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. All right, you guys got my picks, so let's get right to the recap as we get ready for the Fox doubleheader game here starting at 7:15 Eastern time. Actually, it's one game, but there's two games on the schedule, regional coverage on the Fox network. Let's go ahead and get the recap screen for you guys so we can get the plays for you from today's show. All right, here we go. On the recap, we had Alex like Kansas. The Jayhawks lead the 9.5 against BYU. Shane and Blue Jays +122 against the Yankees. Millz was Slayton over 2.5 receptions. Jay liked those Rockies here +21 against, I'm sorry, those Rockies. He likes the Colorado Buffaloes +121 against Oregon. Wayne here on Orioles run line, laid the run half with plus money here in their game here against Guardians. I'll be on Giants Dodgers over 9. One I like the most, let's go here with Shane on the Blue Jays. All right, that's going to do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. Bring our cappers here from Big Dogs and Sports Chat Place. They'll go with the place for you here in real time on the show tomorrow. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, set notifications so you're notified when we're live. And of course, all these video series now, we add even more and more here. We just talked to Wayne. He just added his boxing series. You guys love his boxing breakdowns and his picks. You get now on a video series up on the channel. Of course, we got Millz with his prop videos of the day, as well as a UFC rundown. We got also Jay with his NFL rundown, also part of the morning team here. It always gets started here at 10:30 a.m. each time during the week with the morning show. Jay, Chris, and Mitch. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool shows his roundtable professional discussions, as well as Chris with his home run props videos as well. Ron Romanelli rundown college football, as well as Major League Baseball. Of course, we got Brad with his parlay videos, Nick Metcalf, Nerfies, Jerfies. The list goes on and on. Of course, we got Costi with his breakdowns as well here, sharp trading plays. So lots of video series, guys. So make sure you like and subscribe and set those notifications. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our crew from right.